understand that. And I will ask you to take this on notice. Since the committee last met with you in estimates, the AAT has handed down its hearing in the case of Mr John O'Brien with regard to colour vision deficiency. CASA lost that case. Mr O'Brien has been given the privileges of exercising the airline transport pilot's licence on the basis that he has had a safe flying history as a co-pilot, and they don't anticipate any increase in risk to the travelling public or others with him exercising the privileges of being a captain. I'd be interested in your answer on notice on how you plan to move forward with this issue, in that this is twice now that the AAT has found against the CASA position. It recognises in their judgment the very long period under Liddell and Brock and other principal medical officers within CASA, the very proactive and positive approach to enable people to fly with appropriate individual assessments. And I guess I'd like for you to come back to the committee and explain on how you plan to respond to this judgment, not just with Mr O'Brien as an individual, but the lessons, the very clear statements that came out of the AAT around their concerns about the broad application of the CAD test and the fact that essentially each individual should be given the opportunity to demonstrate their competence and safety regardless of the clinical diagnosis of CVD that may be identified through various forms of testing.
Senator, you quite correctly identified that we've only just received the response in regards to Mr O'Brien from the AAT. We still have, there's time for us to appeal that response, and we will provide the information you've requested in regards to that. But I would state that the AAT response was in regards to Mr O'Brien, and they did say it was in regards to Mr O'Brien only.
Yep, I recognise that, but it does prove the point that each individual should be given the opportunity to demonstrate their competence and safety as opposed to having a blanket restriction, which is what the CAD test and the other two levels of testing have done to date. Anyway, I'm happy to leave it there, Chair. Thanks very much for CASA.